everybody, welcome back to 366 Days of Hope. My name is Pearl and I'm here to share our next video, prayer and fasting part 2, beyond religious. So I know the other day I talked about how prayer and fasting has so many benefits, which is very true. I mean, there are a lot of benefits to fasting and implementing it. And oftentimes I get the question of, well, how do you implement it? Like, what do you do when you fast? Okay, so I just wanted to break down kind of this option for you, because the reality is the frequency of which you fast is up to you. Like, do you want to fast 2 times a week, 3 times a week? Do you want to fast 24 hours? Do you want to fast, for 8 hours, 16 hours? All of that is going to be dependent on you. I'm not a doctor, I'm a personal trainer, but do I implement, fasting in my lifestyle? Absolutely. I do intermittent fasting. I would eat between 10 and 11 and then won't eat again until like 2 or 4. And then after that, I won't eat until maybe a little later. Now, my lifestyle is going to depict when those times might end up changing, but the reality is it's really going to depend on you and what your lifestyle is like to see whether fasting is going to fit within your lifestyle. And what fasting does, like I talked about it in the previous video, the benefits of how it impacts your body, that is going to be pretty much something that you will have to make an assessment on of whether that fits you. Because if you have chronic disease, then that may be something you might have to, consider talking to your, physician about. Okay, well, can I do a 2-day fast, a 3-day fast? Can I fast every other day? Like, that's going to be something that you're going to need to assess. Now, for me, I used to do like a fast of 24 hours, like every Wednesday. It was like, okay, I'm fasting on Wednesdays or fasting on Thursdays, whichever day seemed to be more convenient that I could fast without distraction. So that was what I would do. And then I've sort of turned it into intermittent fasting. Now, there are times in the years where I just feel like, man, my body just feels like it just needs a total reset. Now, this is when I do a much longer fast, where my fast is like maybe beyond 3 days. And sometimes I'll do a fast if I'm feeling heavy burdened and I'm like, Lord, I need answers to this prayer. This is such an important issue in my life that I really need you to answer. I will do a 3-day fast where I will not eat or drink anything. Or I would just do water. It'd be one of those options. But if it's something really dire, sometimes I just feel like I need to do that. And I find that there hasn't been a time where I did a 3-day fast and my prayers weren't answered. I'll just throw that out there. I personally think it's powerful. But when I do like these longer fast, now I've done my 21-day fast, and you can check that out. Actually, I have a whole playlist on that one. That's completely guided fast with the Daniel fast of like topical things to focus on, which I really enjoyed doing that fast. It was great. But that one I did for 21 days. And this time I'm just doing a reset because I just feel like my whole body just needs this reset. And so I'm focusing on just 6 days and then allowing myself to rest the next day. So that fast basically contains allowing me to eat just fruits and vegetables, very minimal salt, no oil, no sugar. And so this is something that I personally have taken in to do for myself because I want to reset my palate, but I also want a deeper connection with God. So hopefully that reset is going to help, or if I need to continue in a little longer, I may end up continuing it depending on how my body feels and reacts after the 6 days. One of the things that tends to happen too is when you are, doing a fast, your body is also detoxing. So that's a very important thing that you have to kind of take into consideration, is that sometimes your body will start to remove toxins. And if it doesn't have like the nutrients to remove those toxins out of your system, it's free floating in your body. So make sure you're aware of that and that you're taking those precautions as well to allow yourself to properly heal, and that you're putting proper nutrients in. So depending on whatever your circumstance may be. But that's pretty much how fasting works. Like, you start off with removing whatever it is that you need to, eliminate, and then you continue that elimination for some time. But then while you get off of your fast, it's so important. It's just as important that you just do not dump like processed food right after. My biggest mistake after my 21-day fast is I was so like hungry, and I ended up eating like something processed, and I got such a stomach ache. And one of the things that we tend to do, we have to think of our body like a Lamborghini. And I've said this before when I talk about like the digestive system, but when you've given your body the best nutrients for a certain period of time, and then you're going to dump processed food in, it's kind of like you threw gasoline on your Lamborghini. That's pretty much what you've done, and you lit it on fire. Like, I really try to be really mindful and encouraging of people like, hey, if you're gonna fast, just make sure that you're going to be my baby wants to say hi. You have to make sure that you're providing your body the right nutrients afterwards, and you're slowly adding food in. It might take like 2 or 3 days before you can add like grains and things like that into your diet, but just make sure that you aren't just all of a sudden, boom, I'm adding all the stuff that I don't normally add, because it's going to wreak havoc in your gut. Now remember, it takes 21 days for your gut flora to adjust to your lifestyle that you've implemented. So 6 days won't be too bad, because your tongue is only like changing its taste buds. So the things that you are eating or you're slowly putting back in, it's going to be like, yeah, and we need to tone it down. And that's perfectly fine. And so you just slowly add stuff in, but you're not, aggressively adding it. So hopefully this kind of gives you an idea of how to implement a fast into your lifestyle, or to make it a part of your lifestyle, or if you want to just do a jump start to help cleanse your body without getting into the massive detox. The detoxing part definitely, I feel like, takes more of a place when you are eating lots of raw food, and then you get into a lot of detoxing that happens into your system. Like, fasting does help with detoxing, but you also are eating certain nutrients if you're on the Daniel fast, which is what I'm on, because I don't want to super detox. But do I suggest detoxing once a year? Absolutely. I think it's healthy for us to cleanse our body frequently if we can, but as long as 90% of your lifestyle is eating pretty healthy, then you're pretty much fine. So with that said, guys, hope it encourages you and kind of helps you see how you can implement it into your lifestyle, and to encourage you. But stick around, because tomorrow I'm going to be posting what I ended up eating on my first day, and a very simple low sodium soup that you can definitely eat and try out. Even though, despite the fact that the tomatoes were from a can, it was still very, very low sodium, which is perfect, especially for this kind of diet. Well, with that said, may you live, thrive, and be healthy. You guys take care. Bye.